It'd be prudent to speak about the issue at this time instead of my designated time at the end because of the action that may be taken today. Speaking to you today, I will be talking specifically about the legal implications of what is to be done. Obviously, from a policy standpoint, the 5 of you gentlemen were elected by the county and the constituents of the county to make the policy decisions, but I want to get you comfortable, or as comfortable as I can, with the legal ramifications of what you're doing today. What they've asked you to do is place on the January 31st ballot, which is already scheduled to take place, a referendum by which you would allow slots to be added to the existing Ebro Greyhound Racing Park and Poker Room. There's a couple of things from the statutory standpoint that you need to understand. One question that you may have is this: if we allow this to happen, or if we put it on the ballot and it gets approved, what's to stop the expansion of slot machines at other facilities in the county or elsewhere? And really the way the statute is designed is that it only applies to existing pari-mutuel facilities, which is a legal and technical term, which have been in existence for 2 or more years. And so it is a very confined, designated type of property to which we could even put this on the ballot. So there is, at this point in time, the way the statutes read, there is no expansion to other places in the county. It would specifically apply to this Ebro Greyhound and Racing Park. Originally, the legislature back in the middle of the 2000s, 2004, 2005 time period enacted the statute really to focus on South Florida. And in 2009, the legislature expanded that statute outside of South Florida and empowered local boards and governments such as you to place the issue on the ballot for constituents to decide whether slot machines should be added to these type pari-mutuel facilities. So here we are today. We are fortunate enough to have a pari-mutuel facility in our county which has come to you to ask to be placed upon the ballot. As you know, and as you've discussed already, what you will be deciding on today is whether to put the issue on the ballot for the voters to decide. You have the ability to do that pursuant to a couple of Florida statutes, and they've discussed those already. You are not deciding that slots will be going out into the facility down there. You are merely putting it on the ballot to decide. I have drafted some proposed language. I will read you a copy of said language with respect to what I will provide to our supervisor of elections in an effort to help her effectuate whatever the board's vote is today. Should you decide to put the issue on the ballot, the notice of election will obviously have to run for, I believe the statute says 30 days to put people on notice that there will be an election. And so there will be notice in the local newspaper which will let our voters know that this is a county-wide issue that they can come to the ballot and decide on. But specifically, the language that I'm going to provide to our supervisor of elections is as follows. Shall slot machines be approved for use at the pari-mutuel Greyhound Park facility in Ebro, Florida? Yes, slot machines shall be approved for use at the Greyhound Park in Ebro, Florida. No, slot machines shall not be approved for use at the Greyhound Park in Ebro, Florida. So that is the proposed language that I will be giving her should you vote yes today. And that really is the issue on the table. Do you want to put it to the voters and let them decide whether slots should be allowed at that limited facility in Ebro, Florida, at the Greyhound Park there? Are there any questions that I can answer for you from a legal perspective that you have concerns or issues with?
Let me ask a question. Because what is apart from the revenue now, the county is saving off of that very much.
Hardware tax revenue is we budget $15,000. We budgeted to get the pari-mutuel.
$207.
$7,850 on the parameters. Permits, yeah.
Public employees in general, whoever. I'm like, being the Ebro is in my district in South Bend. And the financial burdens that city has, basically, very, very minimal income. I think they receive about 7,000 off the revenue restaurant. But if this happened, I'd like to see the city of Ebro with some funding coming out of this to support that city, to hire employees, to get a little bit of equipment to work that register and stuff like that. I think that they could be increased some on the funding if this goes through. That's pretty exciting.
Sure, and let me say this, what we're talking about today is a countywide referendum. The city of Ebro, and their respective town council and attorney certainly have the ability to sit down and discuss with providers, because I believe, and I'll let Ebro speak for itself, I don't want to get into what they have to do. I do believe that there's going to have to be some enactment on their part on a local level to effectuate the licensure of the facility in that township. And so I will leave that up to the town council. But obviously, the presenters in the Ebro Greyhound Racetrack feel like that this is going to be, from what they have stated already, a win-win not only for the county, but the local townships as well, as far as the financial revenue goes.
Yeah, and that was the part I thought.
Sure.
Okay, is there any other questions? Entertain a motion.
I'm sorry, we couldn't hear the amount that Ms. Diane estimated currently received.
$207,850 is what we have been receiving on the paramutual payments.
Accept the motion. Approve or disapprove?
I'll make a motion, we put it on the ballot, let the people decide.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. We put on the ballot.